I stand at the threshold of a journey that promises renewal through the interplay of darkness and light. The night is rich and profound, its velvety shadows stretching across nearly endless expanses, while subtle, enchanting glimmers of light punctuate the horizon. Each step echoes with the memories of past trials and quiet victories, inviting reflection on the essence of existence. The cool air, carrying whispers of distant rain and the scent of damp earth, stirs emotions that have lain dormant for far too long. In this moment, the darkness is not merely an absence of light, but a canvas upon which the beauty of hope is painted in delicate strokes. I feel a deep stirring within, a call to explore the hidden realms of my inner self where pain, joy, and resilience coalesce. As I embark upon this voyage, the contrasting forces of shadow and radiance become intertwined, much like a carefully balanced dance that gives meaning to every experience. The landscape before me is both daunting and inviting, its mysterious contours a reflection of the complexities within my own heart. Here, in the embrace of night, I confront uncertainties with a quiet determination, acknowledging that every struggle carries the seed of transformation. I commit to navigating the intricate tapestry of emotions that unfurl with each step, recognizing that even the darkest hours harbor the potential for a luminous shift. With a steady heartbeat and an open soul, I set forth on this pilgrimage of transformation, ready to unearth the hidden splendor that lies at the confluence of despair and hope. In this sacred venture, each breath becomes a testament to the enduring spirit within, urging me onward into realms where shadows fade and the promise of a brighter existence blossoms in even the coldest nights of solitude. This journey enlightens all. Looking back into the archives of my past, I recall how the early days were shrouded in intense darkness, where every step felt uncertain and every decision was weighed down by shadows of doubt. In a time when the light of understanding was dim and fleeting, the world seemed wrapped in layers of ambiguity and silent despair. The haunting echo of lost dreams accompanied my every breath, and shadows of old memories danced around me like specters reluctant to let me go. I remember wandering through long corridors of loneliness where every creaking floorboard and every rustle of the wind served as a reminder of the struggles I faced. Each moment was a lesson etched in pain, and even as I yearned for relief, the overwhelming presence of despair kept me rooted in its grasp. These days of unrelenting darkness were marked by tangible signs of broken trust and fractured hope. The subtle symbolism of shattered glass and wilting petals narrated a story of internal decay and unspoken grief. In the solitude of those times, I often felt that the very essence of life was slipping away, replaced by the cold comfort of isolation. The silence that enveloped me was deep and all-consuming, as if the night itself had decided to swallow every bright thought. The weight of these experiences became a silent companion, whispering tales of past failures and igniting fears of a future riddled with uncertainty and sorrow. Yet even in those bleak beginnings there were faint hints, fleeting moments when the tiniest spark flickered in the distance, challenging the dominance of the dark. These subtle stirrings, though nearly imperceptible, suggested that there was more to my journey than perpetual anguish. The memories of that profound shadowed era continue to serve as a reminder that from the depths of darkness, one can learn to cherish even the smallest sliver of light. Every scar, every whispered regret became a stepping stone toward the realization that even the deepest shadows are not without their lessons. In the midst of these recollections, I acknowledge the growth that even such dark times inevitably nurture within. Each sorrowful episode, however overwhelming, became a teacher guiding me to a deeper understanding of my strengths. Slowly, the turning tides within me revealed that these overwhelming shadows were the precursor to the ultimate illumination. That awaited my discovery. These memories now guide my hopeful steps forward indeed. Delving deeper into the corridors of my thoughts, I find that the journey into darkness was not a sudden plunge, but a gradual descent marked by moments of vulnerability and internal storms. In those times, every heartbeat echoed with a sense of foreboding, and the cool emptiness of isolated nights intensified the feeling of being lost in a vast, indifferent universe. The sensation of walking along a narrow path with only echoes of uncertain steps as my companions instilled a deep melancholy that was as profound as it was inescapable. I recall feeling as though the very ground beneath me was unstable, each step forward met with resistance from unseen forces that clung to my spirit with relentless persistence. In the depths of my solitude, the darkness manifested itself in vivid and sometimes unsettling forms. Shadows would merge and shift in the periphery of my vision, almost as if they were living remnants of past sorrows seeking acknowledgement. The air felt heavy, laden with unspoken fears and memories that refused to fade. With every tremor of anxiety, I sensed the grip of despair tightening, drawing me into a mental labyrinth where the exit seemed ever more distant. The journey was riddled with moments when the heart pounded not merely with fear, but with the sheer weight of accumulated regret and unfulfilled dreams. Each internal conflict was a storm raging within, a tempest of emotions that threatened to overwhelm the slender threads of hope that remained. As I navigated this maze of inner darkness, I encountered the raw intensity of my own limitations. The struggle was both physical and spiritual, as if a relentless shadow tried to extinguish every spark of light that dared to flicker within. The experience was akin to wandering through a dense forest at midnight, where every rustle and whisper could herald the arrival of unseen dangers. Yet, amid this overwhelming heaviness, the echoes of a faint yet persistent call urged me onward. It was as though the darkness was not a final destination, but a necessary passage, a testing ground where the strength and resilience of my spirit were measured against the harsh realities of life's trials. In those final stretches of darkness, I embraced the multifaceted nature of my struggles, recognizing that adversity often unveils truths hidden deep within. Each tear shed and heartbeat laden with sorrow became an integral part of the narrative that forged my character. The journey was a mosaic of despair and quiet resolve, where every painful moment contributed to the strength that now guides my future steps, ensuring that the descent, however arduous, ultimately paved the way for a rebirth illuminated by trust in my own resilience. These memories now guide my hopeful steps forward indeed. Emerging from the pit of overwhelming despair, I embarked on a determined quest for light, a search driven by the quiet inner belief that hope could be rekindled even after the darkest nights. Every cautious step forward was imbued with the yearning to rediscover the warmth of illumination amidst overwhelming shadows. The journey transformed into a deliberate pilgrimage, with every moment an opportunity to seek glimmers of hope amid the encircling gloom. I began to observe the smallest indications of brightness, a flicker in the distance, the gleam reflected on dew-speckled leaves, or the unexpected shimmer of light passing through a crack in a stormy sky. These signs were subtle yet powerful, each a silent beacon offering reassurance that the battle against darkness was far from futile. Along the winding path, the quest became a tapestry woven with moments of introspection and joy. I recognized that the valor to seek light was not born solely out of desperation, but from the deep-rooted desire to believe in renewal and transformation. The subtle interplay between hope and despair painted my journey with vibrant contrasts. Every time a gentle brightness pierced the veil of midnight, it left behind a trail of renewed determination, a reminder that every glimmer mattered, however slight. I started to record these instances as sacred chapters in the story of my life, each one a testimony to the indomitable human spirit. The pursuit of light was marked by encounters with nature's own expressions of luminosity, a breathtaking sunrise that cast golden hues over shadowed landscapes, the soft radiance of the moon gently caressing the contours of desolate terrains, and the ephemeral brilliance of fireflies dancing in the cool evening breeze. In these moments, the world around me seemed to whisper a promise that darkness could never claim absolute dominion over life, for light always finds a way to emerge. This silent conversation with the universe became an enduring source of comfort and strength, reaffirming my commitment to seek brightness wherever it might reside. With every personal victory against encroaching gloom, my resolve grew stronger, forging an unspoken pact with myself to never relinquish the search for hope. The journey was not without its setbacks. Moments of doubt momentarily clouded my vision as I stumbled amid lingering shadows, questioning if the light was merely an elusive dream. Yet each time the murk crept near, the memory of a spark, a solitary, defiant gleam, propelled me forward. I learned that the quest was just as much about finding inner peace as it was about chasing external radiance. Every step, every stumble, and every triumph was a crucial part of the path that illuminated the deeper dimensions of my character. In the embrace of newfound hope, I pressed onward with unwavering dedication. Every ray of light uncovered amid the shadows fortified my belief in transformation, proving that even the faintest glow can banish the deepest darkness and guide the soul towards redemption. Determined and resilient, I embraced each emerging spark as a promise of a brighter, vibrant future. After long wanderings in the realm of uncertainty, a transformative moment arrived that forever altered the course of my journey. In a quiet interlude between night and dawn, the subtle veil of darkness was pierced by a brilliant ray of light that seemed to breathe life into the still, cold landscape. In that singular moment, the world shifted. Every nuance of my surroundings glowed with a warmth and clarity that was both unexpected and deeply stirring. The encounter was not gradual, it felt sudden, as though the cosmos had aligned to bestow upon me a revelation so profound that even the silent stars paused in wonder. The light came forth with an almost tangible grace, radiating softly yet powerfully, as if inviting me to shed the burdens of past sorrows and embrace an entirely new reality. Its luminescence revealed the hidden textures of the night, transforming abstract shadows into intricate patterns of hope and memory. I observed how the gentle glow illuminated even the smallest details, a worn path, delicate leaves shimmering with moisture, and the faint outlines of familiar symbols that had once been lost in the darkness. The clarity that accompanied this luminous surge filled me with a sense of liberation, as though I were being gently untethered from a web of despair. This encounter marked a turning point where the internal rivers of melancholy gave way to streams of vitality and renewed purpose. Each luminous tendril seemed to whisper a quiet assurance, reaffirming that even in the depths of night, a touch of light can revive the spirit and rekindle the flame of resilience. In that transcendent moment, I recognized that the light was both a mirror reflecting my inner strength and a guide leading me toward uncharted possibilities. The enduring impact of that encounter remains deeply embedded in my memory, a constant reminder that no matter how dense the darkness, there is always an opportunity for the light to emerge and transform our perception of reality. In that sacred encounter, I felt an overwhelming surge of clarity and purpose, as every fiber of my being resonated with the promise of newfound hope. The memory of this moment remains a living flame within me, a constant reminder that light, however unexpected, carries the power to heal, inspire, and lead us out of even the deepest shadows. That radiant encounter transformed my life, etching its light into my very soul forever and wholly. As my journey advanced, the persistent light gradually merged with the shadows, a delicate fusion that signaled profound transformation. The gradual illumination became a mirror to the change that was unfolding within me, a metamorphosis marked by the melting away of old fears and the rise of inner optimism. I sensed that every struggle, every tear, and every regenerated spark of hope had contributed to an unseen alchemy, transmuting the harsh darkness into a wellspring of strength. With the interplay of light and shadow, I reached a critical turning point where despair no longer held dominion over my spirit. It was as if the light had gently unraveled the tangled threads of sorrow, weaving them into a tapestry of resilience and learning. At the very moment of climax, the transformation felt almost tangible. Emotions surged like the ebbing tide, each wave carrying away remnants of past inadequacies. The journey, once marked by hesitant steps and faltering resolve, revitalized my will, imbuing me with a fierce determination to forge ahead without fear. In that transformative instant, the cumulative experiences of darkness and light coalesced into a powerful realization that I was capable of embracing every facet of my being. Pain was no longer an enemy but a teacher. Sorrow, a silent mentor whose lessons paved the way for renewed vigor. Standing at this precipice of change, I witnessed the emergence of a new self, a self that had been honed in the crucible of adversity. The harmonious dance between light and darkness no longer presented a battle, but rather a dynamic equilibrium that nurtured growth. That final climactic moment was not merely an ending, but the ignition of an unyielding hope for a future that radiated outward with unstoppable momentum. The transformation, simultaneously subtle and seismic, underscored a universal truth that every difficult chapter of our lives ultimately leads us to a moment of awakening, where the resultant strength shines more brilliantly than before. In that luminous climax, the union of lessons and newfound strength propelled me toward a future unbound by fear, where hope and light converge in everlasting harmony. Transformation stayed ever eternal. As I arrive at the end of my journey, I look back with a heart filled with gratitude and renewed hope. The interplay of darkness and light has revealed that no matter how heavy the burdens of sorrow, even the tiniest spark can ignite a transformation of spirit. Every challenge encountered along the winding path has been a lesson, ushering in moments of silent grace and strength. In embracing both despair and hope, I have come to understand that our most profound revelations emerge when we dare to confront the shadows. Now, with a clear vision of the horizon, I stand ready to forge ahead, inspired by the unwavering belief that light always finds a way to shine through. This reflective pilgrimage reaffirms that every episode of darkness carries within it the promise of renewal, urging us to persevere and transform adversity into lasting brilliance. My heart remains ever luminous,